Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a native cap in this particular tutorial. I'll be showing you how to cut it and how to sew it in this tutorial. So if you are interested in this kind of tutorial, kindly stay back with me and watch this tutorial from beginning to the end. So here is our actual key that we'll be using for this tutorial. This is our actual key. All you need is just some pieces of actual key. Pieces of actual key, not too much because you will not need much of it. So this is it, and you will need your ruler, your scissors, your chalk, and your stay. This is hard stay, normal hard stay. This is it. So and you will need your lining, which is your interfacing. Those are the things you will need for this tutorial. Just your scissors, your tape rule, and stuff like that. So the first thing you will need to do before we move to the first thing, let me explain this. Depending on how high you want your cap to be, that will determine how much you are going to be using for the measurements. So for the standard measurement, it starts from 7, 8, 9, and 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10. That will determine how high the cap is going to be. This measurement you are about to take, the one I just mentioned now. So, but before that, first thing you need to do is to fold your fabric as shown. Can you see? Just fold. Let me measure how much I fold. I fold 3.5. It's not compulsory that you fold 3.5. You can decide to fold it 3 inches just to get this shaping of a thing. That's why you need to fold it. So can you see? So this is the first thing you need to do. After you're done with that, the next thing you need to do, that is what I explained earlier, how high you want the cap to be. If you want the cap to be very high, you can use 9. Here I use 8 inches. So you measure 8 inches here, you measure 8 inches at the down part as well. So we don't need this. So the next thing you need to do is to take your ruler and connect these 2 lines together. Can you see that? Now, so what you are going to do is to cut it out. Then after you cut it out, you will now need to use this one piece to cut another 3 pieces. That will make it 4 pieces. You will need 4 pieces of this. So this is the 4 pieces now. We are done cutting the 4 pieces. The next thing you are going to do is to take it to the machine. Just see the way I'm arranging it. And just stitch it straight down. You join the second one as well. Stitch it straight down. Just top stitch on it like this. So when I'm done stitching it straight down, I'll bring it back for you to see. So in doing that, we are going to cut the cover of the cap. We are going to cut the cover of the cap. So for the cover of the cap, I'm going to be using 8 inches like this. I'll cut out 8 inches by 6.5 because the cap, what we have here is 6.5. So I'll just cut out 8 inches by 6.5. Let's cut that out now. Let's cut it out. So this is what we got. The next, after you are done cutting it out like this, fold it just the way I fold it. Fold it as shown. Yes, let me refold it again. Yes, fold it as shown, just the way I fold it. And see, can you see, pick out this place, this pieces side, just do it as shown, just to give you a round shape, just to give you a round shape that you need. So can you see that? Just to give you a round shape that you need. So this is what we are going to be used to cover the edge circumference, like the edge of the cap. I'll be showing you how to do that anyway. So the next thing we are going to do now So just place it on the fabric you want to use for the we are going to cut interfacing for this one, this particular just one exactly here. As it is. Cut it out, and after cutting it out, and after cutting it out, we are going to take it to the machine and just stitch it as shown, just to stitch it all around. That is that about that. Let's move to this. So this one now, we already join it. Just put it on each shoulder and just stitch it. So this is it after stitching it. This is what we have. I just stitch it, just place it on each shoulder and just stitch it down. So and we are done with that. So everything we have here is 28. This place as well, and you're just trying to measure it out. So this is what we have now. This is where you need to be very careful, in the sense that look at this place carefully. Just see the way I'm doing it. So you're going to take this back to the machine and just stitch it straight down. Just place it on each shoulder and just stitch it. I'm trying to refold it for you to see. Can you see? Just take it to the machine like this and stitch it straight down like this. Just put your machine on top of it like this. So I'm going to take it now and bring it back for you to see. So this is it after I stitch it already. So this is what I have here. Can you see? This is what we got here. So I'm going to measure it again. Let's measure it. Let's measure it out. What do we have here? We have 14 here. So the next thing you are going to do now is that after you stitch it like this, we will now need to cut it. You can just place it anyhow and just to cut it into two. It's not like you need to place it, there is a way to place it. No, just place it, fold it into two and cut it like this. Can you see that? You cut it. You might be thinking that why not just stitch it straight down? No, this is how to do it. Very simple. Just follow this procedure. You understand? So after you're done with that, with this, we are almost done with our cap. Now the edge circumference I'm working with is the edge circumference of 22.5. Yes, I'm working with the edge circumference of 22.5. Then I'm going to add 1 inches here for sewing allowance. Yes, you are going to add 1 inches for your sewing allowance. Then after you're done with that, you will cut out the excess. What you have as excess, you're going to cut it out. So we are going to cut the excess out now. After you are done cutting out the excess, the next thing you need to do is to now cut your stay. You are going to cut your stay of 3 inches. I'm going to be using 3 inches for the stay. 3 inches by 23.5 plus the sewing allowance. So I'll just cut it out. So this is what we have after cutting it out. The next thing you are going to do after you cut it out is that when you want to gum it, leave half of an inch at this edge part. Yes, leave your half of an inch at the edge area here. When you are placing your, when you want to use your iron to gum it. So I will take it for ironing now and go and iron it and bring it back for you to see. I'll bring it back for you to see. And this is this one. We already stitch it down. Before I take it for ironing, let me cut out the interfacing for this one as well, for the main cap as well. So we are going to cut out our interfacing for this as well. Took this for weaving. They already weave it. You have to weave it so that your work will be very neat. And this is this one. I already had the stay to hit. I already had my stay to this one. So we are almost ready. The cap is very, very simple and easy to make. So the next thing we are going to do now is to go to our machine and start sewing it. So I'm going to show you how to sew it from this part. I'm going to show you how to do that from this part now, so that you'll be able to. But before that, let me explain this. Now, depending on your choice, when you are making cap, you can decide to make design on it. You can decide to make a straight stitch on the stay. You can decide to make scallopy stitch on the stay. So I'll take it to the machine now, same way. I'm going to show you that. Let's go to the machine and let's see how that is going to be. So here we are. So we are going to put it on the machine now and start stitching it one after the other. So let's do that, our straight stitching. Let me show you. Can you see? This is how it's going to be like after you're done. So the next thing you are going to do is to place your interfacing on it and sew it with the ½ inch that we leave earlier. We leave ½ inch for the sewing allowance earlier. So that's what we are going to be using to stitch this down. So just stitch it straight down. Stitch it straight down. After you are done with that, you are going to top stitch on it like this. So just place it on your machine and top stitch on it straight down, just the way I'm doing it. Top stitch on it straight down. So after we are done with this, the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to fold this into two. We are going to fold it into two. Yes, you fold it into two like this, and make sure that you measure it again before you sew it. Measure what you want to use for the edge circumference before you sew it, and just stitch it straight down. So the next thing we are going to do now is to turn it. You are going to turn it to the good face. But before you turn it, let me explain this. Before you turn it, open this stitching area. This place. Take it to the iron table and iron it down. Yes, take it to the iron table and iron it down, so that your work will be very neat. The back of your cap will lay very well. So this is it. I already ironed it. So it's after ironing it that you will now turn it. After turning it, we are going to top stitch I'll show you, Sha. Let's first turn it and do little top stitch here. If possible, after turning it, take it to the iron table, iron it again. Ironing is very important when you are making a cap. Very, very important. Even when you are making a dress, ironing is number one thing you need to always do. So now you're going to put it on the machine and stitch it straight down at the tips. Stitch it down at the stitch with the lining. So after you are done with this, can you see? This is it. This is what we got. So you are going to stitch here as well with the lining. You are going to stitch it straight down with the lining as well at this part. Then you are going to cut out the excess. Yes, you cut out the excess, and you are going to this is what you are going to have after everything. This is how it's going to look like. So the next thing you are going to do now is to take this main cap to the machine and weave it as well. I will advise you take it to the machine and weave the edges. So Let me take it to the machine and bring it back. So this is it after I already weave both. So the next thing you're going to do is to find your pin, and first of all I will advise that you pin it all around, in case if this piece at the upper part is going to be excess, so that you can trim it off. So let's take it to the machine now. If you are here to watch a tutorial on how to make this pin holder, I have the tutorial on my YouTube channel here. I have the tutorial here on my channel, so you can just watch how to make this on the channel. So take this and start pinning it one after the other. So this is what we have. So I'm going to trim off a little bit away and take it back for weaving. And now I'm done weaving it. This is the inside. This is how the inside is going to look like, and this is the outside of our cap. This is the outside of our cap after you are done. So you are going to take it to the ironing table and now do a nice iron on it. You are going to iron it down very well, because it's that iron that you are going to iron that the owner will be using with it. So you need to iron it very well. Take it to the iron table and iron it. And after doing it, let me put it on my head for you to see how it looks like. So this is it. It's not my size, it's for a customer, it's for a client. So this is it after I'm done sewing it. Can you see that? It's very, very simple and easy to make. So if there is any question you like to ask, don't hesitate to ask any question in the comment section, and see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye for now.